Today is Wednesday, October 18th, 2023. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is our recap of Survivor 45, Week 4.
This episode's titled Music to My Ears. Now, I initially thought that was Emily, but it turns out it was Sean. Sean said that.
Oh.
Hers was close. Music to a girl's ears.
Oh, okay.
But Sean actually said music to my ears. I mean, we could double credit him. I guess it's close enough. You know what's interesting about the last two previous on Survivors?
What?
No Prope's narration. It's not him saying anything, making declarations. It's just clips. So he changed. He did that old style previously on once, and now it's just playing earlier clips to do the previously on.
So we just get clips that tell us, and we don't get
us,
Jeff's. Yeah, just it's a reminder. It's not Jeff's interpretation
Or his spin, because sometimes it would be different. We would notice than at least what we got in what we felt we got in the edit. So he's taking himself out of that equation the way things are currently working.
Interesting.
Yep. So they recapped with Austin and Drew finding the Beware advantage, and then Katurah targeting Bruce, which is just going to be a thing this season.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, this is the previously on.
They're both there.
And then basically we hear Kaleb talking about how Emily's been playing smart. Lulu goes to tribal council again. Emily essentially saved Kaleb, and then Sabaya took a risk, held on to that idol that she cooked, and then ended up going out. So that's it. Back to Lulu, night 7.
Sean
got some splaining to do. Yeah.
About the vote. Nanny now knows, I'm at the bottom. But he does, he tells them he wishes he was in on the vote.
Yeah, I liked his damage control. Well played. Didn't see it.
Well, except, when he was telling Kaleb, I wasn't the one who wanted to vote for you. It's like, Emily's like, you were going to vote for me.
Right.
So it's like, I wouldn't talk too much about that, Sean.
I thought she managed it pretty well.
She did.
She didn't go for retribution, revenge, or anything like that. She says, took no pleasure in voting Sabaya out.
And Kaleb tells us Emily is the only person he can trust.
Yeah, interesting how things have changed there.
Well, hopefully he'll find some more people, but right now, that's how he's feeling.
Yeah, I liked how he framed it. His investment paid off.
Yeah. Well, I guess Sean was telling him, how much he was controlled by Sabaya. And he was just doing whatever.
That's really
Sabaya
when Emily took the gloves off for a minute. She said, he's a gregarious chameleon. He's not genuine.
Well, and Kaleb said no one's buying that Sean was controlled by her.
Yeah.
So.
And Sean's praying for a swap. Sabaya had said in her exit interviews they were expecting a swap, given things how things were playing out for them.
Yeah.
Speaking of swaps, day 8. This is another 2-day cycle, day 8 and day 9.
The Blue Tribe was very chipper going in. Morning, Jeff.
Sure. So was Reba.
So I was surprised that there were so many surprised faces that Sabaya was out.
Yeah, that seemed to be more of a reflection of the fact that they hadn't had to play that hard. They hadn't been tested by the fire yet. And so they couldn't fathom how Sabaya could be gone.
Well, yeah, but they were like, man, we didn't see that coming. And they were like, she's the strongest player on the tribe. And I thought, well, that must make Kaleb feel good. And Sean, Emily, it's like, thanks, guys.
Well, and Katurah said that Sabaya was a strong voice of reason.
How does she know?
Don't know. Just observing her, I guess, in the challenges.
Oh, okay. Well.
That's her only reference point, right? Kendra's the only one that actually got to visit with them at their camp.
Well, but that tells me they would want to target her after the merge anyway, because she was the strongest one. And then she would be a threat. So
Dee suspected a blindside, and she was right. Her instincts just continue to be on point.
So Brando tells Jeff that, well, everybody's kind of thinking maybe the tribes might mix up. And Jeff's like, well, then drop your buffs.
Yeah.
We're going to switch up the tribes.
What'd you think about how it turned out?
Interesting. And that it's it's something new. This first time they've done that in the new era.
Yeah, in the 40s, yes.
But that was kind of weird that you had so many people on a couple of the tribes, and then one was really mixed, more like you would have expected it.
Right, let's go through it. So New Belo had the really good mix.
Yes, they had Austin and Drew, and then Kendra and Brando, and Emily.
Yep, that's probably the most interesting thing, the way old Lulu got distributed evenly across the tribes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that tribe's interesting, and it puts Emily in a potentially powerful situation. She could become the swing.
Well, that looks like that it will happen. So
New Lulu looking a little formidable, huh?
Kaleb, Katurah, and Kellie, Jake, and Bruce.
Yeah, possibly the new powerhouse tribe, the way that was looking.
Yeah. It's going to be hard to think of Lulu that way. But
pretty much, yeah. And pretty much all the little people ended up on Reba. The shortest of stature, we'll say.
Okay, Dee, Julie, she's not short, though. Sifu, Jay, and Sean.
Yeah, they're all kind of short, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
From all the castaways.
Well, it certainly makes it harder in some of the challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Which we'll talk more about when we get to the immunity challenge. And Kellie tells us a swap is where you determine a great survivor player from a good one.
Yeah, I like that.
I was surprised how emotional Bruce got on when he went over to Lulu. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize that was the beach that, he was...
originally on, yeah.
Yeah, took the medical leave from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't either.
But I guess that would bring back some not fond memories.
Do you think that was manufactured by him, or was that genuine?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he's that talented at pretending that he could drum up those tears.
I'm
like
sure he would want us to think that.
Well, maybe, but I would think that's hard to do. I can barely cry when I'm heartbroken. It's just hard to cry, and certainly if anybody's around, that would be a deterrent for me.
Interesting. He spent so little time in the game, and he wasn't even cognizant for that time that he was on the beach so much, so he was just in a really bad way.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've had things hit me at weird times, like songs, and there's one song that has some things in common with a tragedy in my family. And I was in a big group, we were in a jam, they're like, hey, come up and sing, because it's a Southern band that sings it. Hey, come up and sing this. I was like, I don't think I want to do that. So it did catch me kind of by surprise. Mm-hmm. So, I didn't say it that way. I said, no, I'm good. Let's just go ahead. But
I've seen a lot of people that if their normal behavior is, oh, no, they don't deal with their emotions. They just kind of stuff them down and move on. Mm-hmm. And, they don't deal with them. They will come back at the most inopportune time. It'll just all of a sudden, like you said, I used to have that happen when I would massage people. Mm-hmm. It would release a lot of things, and all of a sudden they're like, I don't know why I'm crying. It's like, it's okay. It's safe to cry here. You don't even have to know. Just let it happen.
So I'm agreeing with Kaleb there initially. He's saying it looks bad for him there with the 4 old Belos.
Yeah, it kind of did. I was a little worried about that. I put him safe this week because I wasn't sure, how long he would be there.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'd gotten a point off of him, so I was.
What did you think of Katurah's move, where she shushed Bruce and said, "Let me hear Caleb's version of what Brandon shared about the thing that Bruce experienced."
I understand that, and I would have thought it would be better for her to ask him off on his own, just the two of them. But
So she's being
I
very
don't
bold and
think
upfront
it's-
with her dismissal of Bruce.
Do not think it's good to shush anyone.
Yeah.
Nobody likes to be shushed. It's like, I mean, that's just an immediate reaction of, excuse me.
And to Bruce's credit, he understood that she was testing him to see if he had been lying.
He did, and he decided to move on from his emotions. He felt them, and he said, okay, now, moving on. And I like all that he... But I don't know how much I like Bruce as a player. Some things he does, I'm like, okay, all right, he's playing. And other things, it's like, I don't know. So I'm still on the fence about Bruce.
I had even forgotten that Jake and Kaleb were in that challenge together, essentially, against each other initially. So they did have a connection. I wasn't even factoring that in.
Who did? Jake and...
Kaleb?
Oh, yeah.
They were both in the sweat and savvy. It wasn't sweat versus savvy really this time.
Okay,
So
yeah.
they did have that bonding experience right out of the gate on day one.
Well, I don't think Katurah is really trying to hide how she feels about Bruce from Bruce.
She definitely wasn't then.
No.
You don't behave that way.
If she hadn't given it up before, she certainly did then.
Right.
Because he got it loud and clear. She didn't believe a word I said. Even though he happened to be telling the truth.
What did you think about how Jake handled that interaction with Kaleb? Because he said he didn't want to fully trust him. He didn't want to go all in. He was afraid it might backfire on him. Kaleb would go run tell tales or something based on whatever he said. So
I thought it was a little awkward and maybe could have handled it a little better.
He was cautious.
Yes, I don't blame him for being cautious. And I don't think Kaleb would either. But,
I like how they left it, though.
Yeah.
To look out
Yeah,
for
I
each
did.
other. Yeah.
yep. And so, they kind of had an understanding, and I think that's good. And then now they'll just see how much do they look after each other or
Sure.
not. So they're putting their little toes in the water to
I certainly
test
liked how Jake was playing that approach of, hey, I need as many opportunities as I can get. I'm going to keep my options open.
Yep.
So he left the door open with Kaleb.
Yep. All right, over to New Belo. Austin said this is the most mixed up tribe.
And they're very curious about Emily.
Yes, well, they have been told that she was very, very difficult, and hostile, and all kinds of things by Brandon. So Emily decided, okay, I have a new opportunity. I'm going to be open and honest person. And she had learned some things from Kaleb, so she's going to try them out.
Yep.
And just before
true-
she shows them her strategy.
Be the true Emily, she says. And she finally got to see fire in a camp.
Yeah.
This portion was really about, looking back on it, it was like, how did the old Lulus experience the tribe swap? It was a lot of their perspective was how we got to see it all happen, right?
Well, and I like that she shared about their tribe with them. She was open about, I was on the outs in Lulu, and though she wasn't in the end.
Had all the juicy details to share about the Sabaya idol.
Yes, and how that tribal council went down, which kind of, I'm sure, intrigued them all, because they haven't even been to tribal yet.
Seemed to be working on Drew. He said, Emily's actually not that bad.
Yeah, she seems normal. Not mean like I thought she would be.
Yeah, and she's potentially the swing
And
vote.
we want her on our side. Let's get her now.
Yeah.
So I thought, now Emily is very popular.
All right, let's see how Sean manages things over in New Reba.
Well, he says he's happy to be there. I'm like, really?
Well, he's happy to be out of old Lulu.
Well,
It's-
yeah, but...
Out of the fire into the
he knew
frying
he was
pan.
on the bottom there, but, you would have to kind of assume...
Welcome to the New Reba bottom.
Yeah, unless you can find the cracks, which I have to give him credit for looking for the crack.
He tells him he's got stories, so he's got information to share. I liked how he physically sat in the middle of them. He was going to go to the end, and he ended up putting himself right in the middle of them.
Well, but Julie told him he couldn't sit there. That's why he moved.
Oh, okay.
She said, you can't can't sit there. I don't know what she had there, but he can't sit there. And that's why he moved over. And
I missed that part. I just saw him course correct and sit physically in the middle.
That's how I saw it.
2 on each side of him.
But Jay tells us she likes Sean.
Fresh potential. Yes.
Yeah. And even Julie and said she and Dee liked Sean too. Though Dee was a lot more willing to open up to him than I think Julie was. Julie seemed to, they liked his energy, but I think she really wanted to stay.
They had to do some legwork first, though. Yeah. They needed to know if he was coming with anything.
Have an idol?
Yeah.
Because they already thought Sifu did, which we didn't really know, did we? Till this.
We knew that they had been suspicious of him because he had behaved.
Because he'd been looking.
And Dee busted him pretty hard.
And sneaky.
Yeah. And it sounds like he had kept doing that.
Yep. Well, I guess he wanted them to think he had one.
But he said the right thing when he was there with him. So we see Jay and Sean go off for a walk, and they're walking and talking, and Julie, Dee, and Sifu are there, and they declared that they are Reba strong 100%.
But
now,
Sifu's
let's go through his bag.
No, Sifu was the one that said, let's go. We should check his bag.
I liked how meticulous Dee and Julie were, looking at the knot, making sure they could replicate the knot that Sean had used to tie the bag. And then they sequenced everything as they were extracting it from the bag to get it back in.
That's a smart way to do it.
Even noting the shoe orientation in the bag. I liked all that detail.
But then,
Good
of
on
course,
them.
Yes, but then Dee was like, well, even if he notices, he should expect us to go through his bag. He's on the bottom.
He is number 5, yes. So Sean's working as he's talking to Jay. Hey, I had a good feeling even at the marooning, possible connection with you.
Well, and Jay shares with Sean that they don't trust Sifu, which makes him extremely happy.
Yeah, no idol, but he's still hunting for one.
Though the girls weren't as happy to hear when she told them, look, Sifu's out first. I like Sean, and especially Julie. I think Dee was a lot more willing to go along than Julie.
I like, too, that Sean wanted to cross-check what Jay was saying with Dee and Julie. That's smart.
Absolutely. All right. And day 9, back over to the Belo tribe. Emily said, some of these people are more my speed on this tribe. I'm not sure what she meant by that. I was curious.
Well, there was that exchange between her and Drew where she was talking, they were talking about day 9 as Brando marked it on the tree. Day 9, how about that? And Drew quips that he thought he'd be first out, and Emily says, welcome to my world. So definitely I thought that was a nice connection there.
Well, and they approach Emily, to be with them, and she's like, hey, if you're with me, I'm with you.
Yeah, that was good.
But I thought, but is she going to tell the other two the same thing? Or does she really mean that?
Yeah, well, you should. It's not like you're lying.
Well, but the
thing is, until you make a choice.
But then Drew tells us that, they might even add Emily to their final 5 with him and Austin and Drew.
Yeah, he's pretty quick to go all the way there, huh?
Yeah.
But Emily's thrilled to have that option, to have numbers, to be potentially part of a majority. That's got to be exciting, given how rough her start was.
Even if she, didn't think that far ahead, or they didn't say they had an alliance. Surely they didn't say that they had an alliance with Julie and Dee.
Right.
But
I liked how excited she was to finally have some, she said, autonomy. We like to say agency in the game, but she thought she might be in a position to
I thought
control her fate a little.
If those girls were smart, and I think they are, if they did get to final 5, then they have the power to pick off the 2 guys, as long as they don't win every challenge.
Yeah. Yep. True. He was pretty all in.
But that's jumping way ahead, Drew. Way ahead.
He was just excited about how rational she was.
Yeah. Well, I thought they would have preconceived ideas about her because of the things Brandon told that did filter back to both camps. Okay, over at Lulu, Kellie was told by Bruce that she's his number 1.
Yep.
And he'd like to bring Kaleb in.
Yeah. So that's good for my USB Kellie. I'm liking that. Liking how all that's sounding.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'm going to be Bruce's number one or not, but
No,
I'd
you
like
just want
for
to be
Bruce
part of a majority.
To think that he is.
It's not so much Bruce as it is to have a controlling majority in the tribe. Yeah. So Katurah finally gets some alone time with Kaleb.
Yeah, but before that, she sees Kellie, Kaleb, and Bruce together.
Right.
So
Spooked her a little bit.
Yep, spooked her. That's why she was together with Kaleb. And Kaleb was very happy about that because she kind of filled him in on some real life happenings over in the old tribe and how she feels about Bruce.
Yeah, we got another sequence of her going on and on, cataloging all of his annoyances. So that's more about her reaction to him.
Well, but I really liked what he said when she told him all that stuff. He said, now I can map out what road I want to go down.
Yeah.
Because he's got more information
It's
about it.
grateful to have that, know what's
and I
going
thought,
on.
I look forward to seeing what he does
More
do
options.
with that.
Yeah. And yeah, well, we're coming up to that. I'm going to hold that thought.
Alrighty.
That sequence was, how's old Lulu faring in the new tribes? Because it was really a lot about that, how each of them were getting along in their new tribes since they split between them all. Okay, time for the immunity challenge. We're on day 9. They're going to have to swim out to a cage, get some bars loose, and use those to carry the cage up to the beach, up to a specific point on the beach.
Yeah, that looked rough.
Yeah, and then one person digs out from under, and that person's going to be the rebounder, and then you have to shoot 3 baskets at progressively higher heights.
And further away.
From inside the cage with that one person available to run down the balls. So that was definitely interesting. No puzzle.
Yeah.
Just physicality.
Because that's one of the
Physical
things
skills.
that we were like, oh, who would be on that tribe that would have with this group of people, who does puzzles and who, which team is going to have puzzle people and which teams aren't. And
Yeah, we'll come back and talk about that a little bit when we're wrapping up.
Okay. All right. So Belo gets to the cage first. They get their poles down and use it to lift the cage.
They all got there relatively close to each other, but then it started to shift.
Lulu got to shore first.
Pulling away.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
And you look at it, there's definitely an abundance of physical strength in the Lulu tribe.
And you could tell Kaleb was working really hard. You know he didn't want to have to go to tribal this
right. Maybe day 9 they'll get Flint at the Lulu camp.
Yep. And Reba was in second for a bit there, and Belo was the last to arrive to the beach.
Well, it flipped, I think, at the last minute where Belo pulled ahead.
Well,
beach-wise.
They were, kind of neck and neck with some of that, and Lulu just went on.
That's true. They were trading off as they were coming up the beach, and then they get to the spot because you had to put the cage down and orient it exactly right because they had big logs planted that you had to dig under. So, yeah, Bella did end up getting there second, but turned out Reba wasn't that far behind. They did rally. I was worried about them strength-wise. But Kellie popped out really early for Lulu to do the rebounds, and Kaleb got to work.
Yes, he did.
1 basket, 2 baskets, and then
3 baskets. They win.
Yeah.
And then the other 2 tribes battle it out.
Right.
They won before the other tribes shot their first balls, right? No, I think they did.
Maybe. I don't remember exactly.
I mean, they were kind of right ready, but I think
Austin
they'd already
was
won.
the next one to get one in, and then Sifu. Sifu struggled a bit, and then he finally got it going.
Yeah, Julie got out for Reba to retrieve the balls.
Yep, and Brando for New Belo. So they had to untie each ball, and then they had to run them down and get them back into whoever was shooting the balls from inside the cages.
And Austin did a good job.
Yeah, he did. Sifu was doing good too. He was mounting a comeback.
He was.
They tied up at 2-2, and then
actually.
Austin sunk the third, so that New Belo took second place. So New Lulu first, New Belo second, and New Reba is going to Tribal Council for the first time.
Well, we had chosen them, so of course we were cheering for for it to turn out that way.
We weren't as happy as Emily though. She was crying.
Yeah. Well, it would be something. I mean, it's the first time in the entire game on day 9 before you got to win anything.
When you're scrambling, well, they won reward.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Immunity.
Immunity.
Yes. Yeah. And
she didn't have
nothing
to go
worry
to
about.
tribal
Right.
council for once.
Right. Haven't gone to
That
the previous
had
3.
to be a relief
Yeah. Well, yep. I think that's
for
why
her and
the
Caleb.
tears came out. Yep. Caleb was
And
happy
Sean
too.
was like,
Caleb ran right out there to get that flint.
Oh, yeah. And I thought it was funny they showed Lulu first. Usually they'll go back to the tribe that lost and just deal. But they went straight to Lulu. Everybody's happy they won immunity.
Even Probst was saying Caleb won't know what to do with himself.
What did you think of Bruce pretending to lose the flint?
Oh, when they got back?
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked that. I actually liked it. I mean,
I kind of did too.
It got a not impressed eye roll from Katurah.
Oh,
but
she was making the face. So she was not happy about it. But I thought it was funny. The other people seemed to think it was funny, and they got fire. So, yay.
he put some thought into it, having the hidden zippered pocket
Yeah.
so he could pull out his other 2 pockets and then make them really worry.
Yeah.
I would have totally done that.
I was concerned.
I would have
Yes,
done
you
that
would do
just like
that.
Bruce.
Absolutely.
I think that was, I was with him on that one.
Yep, that would have been you all the way.
Finally, fire at the Lulu camp, night 9.
Yeah, and back over at Reba, Sean was just so deflated. He was just so sure they could win.
Yes.
Because Reba had just been dominating in challenges. And it's like, and he was the, what would bother me is I'm the only difference. Right? Well, that's not true. Drew and Austin were there, but.
Dee was quick to point that out, too. When they were out in the water, she said, "You're a bad luck charm." I like that. To Sean. Oh, that put him on notice, though.
Yeah, that
He's
would
like,
have made
oh,
you feel
geez,
even
me
worse.
versus them.
And I was surprised that Sean talked to Sifu and said, "Hey, I'm with you."
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect that because I didn't think he'd want the girls to see him
Well, it certainly was playing
talking,
smart.
but, yeah.
It's like, I'm a number. You got to shop yourself. You got to keep all the doors open. And
absolutely.
he seemed to be right on track there. And Sifu kind of was shutting him down a little bit.
He's like, "No, yeah,
Strong
I
Reba
like
tribe.
you,
Yeah.
but we're Reba strong.
Yeah.
Can't, we're going to have to vote off Sean." Nope. But he does go back and check. So he must have some idea of that.
He might be at risk to a degree.
Might, possibly.
Well, at first, and I had picked Sifu to go. I'd originally picked Sean to go, and then I had
Yes, you
switched
did.
it late in the day to
Last
Sifu.
minute, and I had Jay to go, and I switched it last minute because you came in and said you switched it, and I thought,
Oh, you're going to blame that on me?
no. I had already wanted to put Sifu down.
Yeah.
And because we'd had this discussion before, and I had said, well, but Sifu, because we felt like we had that, tribe complete. And so I had said, but nobody liked him. They've been talking about getting rid of him. The others were all. So, but I thought they would keep him for strength. That's why I went with J. Maya, because for some reason I didn't think they were going to vote Sean out. I just thought somehow he was going to have some luck, and he might have, but we'll talk about that later. But anyway, that's what I was thinking. But then, you said, yeah, but it's going to be 2-2 if it's these 2 and those 2, then Sifu could go, and I changed it, and I thought, I think I will too. I had like 3 minutes.
Oh, you went even more last minute than me. Mine was hours before the deadline.
But you didn't tell me till then.
Okay.
And made me think about it. And I wasn't trusting my judgment much today. So
I tell you, at this point in the episode, Sifu was talking about himself in the third person, and I felt really, really good having him as my vote out pick. You got to watch for people who speak of themselves in third person. That is a big red flag, a big red Reba flag.
Yeah. Oh, well.
And then we see Julie, Reba, and Jay talking, and Jay keeps pushing this Sifu idol idea.
Yeah, and Dee's ready to get him out, but Julie was not happy about that being, she didn't.
She made
want
an
him to do
excellent
it.
point. they would have still been out in that water had it not been for Sifu powering up and getting them, helping move that cage out of the water and up the beach.
Well, that's why I had originally thought they would keep him for the strength. But then I thought, well, yeah, but they don't trust him, and they're getting closer to merge, and there's all those factors to consider. But Dee and Julie was right in there telling Sean that, nope, we're voting out Sifu. She jumped on board with her.
They gave him all the cautions. She said, look, we're going to be talking about how it's Reba strong.
Yep.
And you just got to trust us.
Because we don't want him to play anything. We want him comfortable. Yeah, and so I thought that was a good plan.
Yep. Sean didn't know. He's not going to know. This is a huge trust test. And he was saying he hopes they're genuine.
And then when they're leaving for tribal council, he said he didn't really think his story would be going to every single tribal council. But if it ended now, then that would be his story.
Yeah, who would even contemplate that? I mean, it happens, but...
Well, if he was honest at tribal council in that he'd been thinking about making a different choice, then that would make more sense why he would say that. If I leave now. So, in hindsight, but...
I like Sifu checking in with Julie there. I think you alluded to it a little earlier. But he asked her. He hasn't gotten to you, has he?
No.
Still got trust in Reba strong.
Way.
Yeah, that was a good check. I assume he was going around doing that to everyone. I think I would.
Well, especially, and we'll talk... Well, I'll just wait till we get there. Let's go to tribal council.
All right. Night 9, tribal council.
And...
all the old Rebas have to get their torch for the first time to get fire.
I had to laugh because Sifu started talking about how he read people's energy every day, and Sean has good energy. And I'm thinking, are you getting the vibes that they're thinking about voting you out? Because that's the energy that's circulating right now. Though he was complimenting Sean, I think, because I think he was pretty certain Sean was going. So he's like, oh, Sean has good energy and he's genuine. And so he was just talking him up. But that's when Jeff asked Sean, well, if this is it,
I thought they were doing a good job. We're skipping a lot of what was said prior to that, but I thought they were all doing what they said and doing a good job of making Sifu comfortable and making it seem like it was Sean.
Yeah. They did, and that's why I kind of ignored all that.
Probst, like you said, asked that classic question, what has this been for you? And I like Sean's first answer, that his teacher had told him failure's good and it helps us grow and learn what we need to know. And so that's a positive way of looking at that, because life's full of failures, and I like that spin on it. You don't want it to be debilitating. But and then it just
took a turn telling his life story.
How did we end up with another quitter coming out of the Lulu tribe?
Okay, Stacy will now have nothing else good to say about Sean.
Oh, geez.
Yes, I know. And
what a horrible tribe. Do you think the same casting person worked on all three of them? Like Brandon, Hannah, and Sean? I wouldn't be surprised. Holy smokes, what a mess.
And we thought Emily was the mess over there.
Oh, I thought we were out of this too. I just didn't see this coming. This quit, and Probst called it, labeled it correctly, an engineered quit by Sean.
Yep.
That
again. Yeah. I mean, yes, I see your life struggle. That was fine. You shared and all that, but I thought
you have the perfect response that you zero in on every time, because they say that stupid thing, I just need to get back. I've realized what's important, and he said I need to get back to my husband.
My true adventure is a lifetime back at home with my husband.
Meanwhile,
well, you are not going back
he's
home
headed to hang out with Sabaya, Hannah, and Brandon at a hotel until day 27 when they fly back.
I want to spend every minute
nonsense.
I can. That's wonderful. I have no problem with that. I think that's lovely. And if you made that choice, okay, that's your choice. But you aren't going back to your husband. You signed a contract.
Yeah, to be out there.
You're not going
through day 26
home to your husband right now. So why not
Quit
stay
the
and
farce.
play the game?
Or just don't say stupid stuff like that.
I'm like, no, you're quitting. For whatever your real reason is, you quit. But because he was voted out,
I still thought
those
it
of
was.
you still got a point.
I was hoping, I was hanging on to the hope that this was a part of
did
a
not see that
convincing
coming.
act.
I did not see it coming. I thought maybe he was, I thought maybe he was doing that too.
Wow, he's really
just
selling
to get Sifu not to play it
Shot in
silent.
the dark. Yeah.
And I was hoping, but I had a feeling that he was being genuine. And I was like, no, come on now. Come on, everybody vote. And then when Dee told Julie to vote Sifu,
yeah.
she
To
mouthed
stick
that.
with it,
It's
right?
like, yeah, stick
Sifu.
with it.
Yeah.
Well, and I had said to you, don't let him leave, even if he wants to. Make him stay, but then he could quit later on. So
Well, they're under no obligation to do anything that he's asking when he's quitting. You don't have to do that. You do what's in your best interest.
Well, and he seemed a little emotional when he's like, no, these 4 people really want to play, and so just send me home. And I thought,
Freaking quitter. Jeez.
yeah, that's just basically what it is. Whether he had an emotional moment of he liked Sifu, he didn't want to see him leave. I'd rather leave because I've gotten what I want out of this game. Still,
I'm just going to go right now with there's something else going on, and this edit isn't representing reality, perhaps.
I don't know. And he asked all of them to please write his name so that the 4 can stay in the game.
Yeah, which is complete horse pucky.
Yeah. I think maybe Dee thought, too, that he was just, oh, no, he's really playing it up. He's good. Yeah, still vote for Sifu. But as it turns out...
Yeah, so he gets 3 votes, and so he's gone. He got his wish. The quitter got his wish, and he's out of here.
Yep, Sifu, Jay,
when you
even
quit,
Jay
you shouldn't
voted
get
for
your
him.
torch. He shouldn't snuff it or something
Well, but
like that.
technically, he didn't quit. They voted him out.
Yeah.
They didn't have to.
Even more formal than the Hannah quit.
I mean, Dee voted Sifu still.
Yeah, and Sean voted for D. So where did that come? See, something else was going on. I mean, he's a quitter, and we would have been much better off had he not ever been on this season. But something else was going on there. I'm puzzled.
And maybe they're not liking something Dee's doing because, Julie was like, Dee mouthed to me to vote
or an audible. She said she got an audible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To vote for Sifu, and as we saw, she did not.
She opted not to, and Jay, who had been previously so adamant about voting out Sifu, didn't either. So,
well, but I felt like Jay and Sifu were honoring Sean's wish.
Mm-hmm.
I think they took it very seriously and went, okay, if he wants to go, then we'll do it. And I'm not sure how Julie made her decision, but she made her own choice. So, but Sifu was not happy right away who voted for me. And I like that he got up and hugged Sean and said, did you vote for me? And Sean told him, no, I didn't.
Yep. I don't know if you can believe Sean, but...
Well, we can because we saw his vote.
Yeah.
And
I think there's still some wiggle room for D on that one.
Maybe. That's what I figured that, she would try to blame it on Sean. But I'm sure that's why Sifu...
But Sean did this noble thing so that they could all continue together.
Yeah.
Why would
he lie to me about that? I don't know. That was disappointing again. But, oh well, if you don't want to be there, then go home. Go wherever.
Thanks, Sean. You ruined another episode, old Lulu.
No, it didn't ruin the episode for me like the other.
It put a stink on it. Maybe not as bad as the Hannah one.
No, I'm already moving on. So.
But you stink, Sean.
Okay, next on Survivor, Sifu says, seeing my name is like a volcano, so he must be going to erupt on somebody. And Drew said, I look down the periscope and I see tribes ripping each other apart. What?
I don't know that you actually look down. You look through, which is
A
up.
periscope, which is in a submarine.
Normally you're looking up. Anyway.
Yeah, but you get his point.
Well, not really. What is he seeing in terms of tribes ripping each other apart?
That's what they want us to anticipate for next week.
They're the most diverse in terms of the old tribe mixture. But yeah, what's he on about? Not sure.
Well, here's one theory, is that he could be seeing Sifu, even at the challenges, going off on and being angry with somebody or all of the tribe, and they could even argue. So like, you wrote my name down. You. And they're like, wait a minute. We're still over here. We plan to be with you guys. Don't turn on each other.
Yeah, don't mess it up before we can get to the merge.
Before we can get back together. So I kind of think that might be.
Maybe that's it. We also see Brando and Kendra making their pitch to Emily. We'll be your numbers, they tell her. So Emily has maximum agency. She is in the middle. She is the swing.
Yep. And should say yes to everyone.
And then I was completely puzzled.
Decides.
Yeah, completely puzzled by Austin what he said. They are gonna get my revenge. This is war.
Yeah, I wrote who.
Yeah. So who? I don't think he means it the way it sounds initially. Yeah. Basically, he's going to get revenge. This is war, I think is what he's saying. Not they're going to get
No, it was Jake.
His revenge.
Jake that said this is war, I thought.
No.
Was it?
No.
Huh. I thought it was.
We see Jake falling again on the new Lulu tribe because you can see the yellow buffs for sure. And then he tells us that going out of the game is a stab in the heart. So I guess there's some potential medical issue with him. Maybe it wasn't just hyperventilating and the smoke with the fire.
Yeah, he could be.
Because he looked like he was doing that shaking thing again as he went down. And you hear Katurah or Kellie, I'm not sure who, maybe Katurah asking if he was okay.
Are you okay? Yeah.
Because they probably know the history. I'm got to believe Kendra shared that with them.
Well, yeah, you would think they all talked about it because that's scary when somebody kind of passes out. I mean, we could see why because we saw the way he was blowing and, it's like, well, geez. But anyway, So
before Sean pooped on everything and ruined the episode, what did you think of it overall? What do you think about the new tribes, I guess, more specifically? I think that's worthy of a topic of conversation.
I'm glad to see it kind of switch up a little bit. I think it'll add a little pizzazz and
the full
life
swap,
to
even
it.
Given how it turned out, it's going to be interesting to watch, especially New Belo, and see what Emily's able to make of that position. So New Belo's got, in terms of puzzle solvers, they've got Brando and Drew, who were key in multiple previous puzzle solves. So I think they've got some physicality and they've got puzzle solvers, assuming we're going to get back to puzzles at the end of a challenge here.
Also, what if Austin's tribe lost and they came after him, but he played his idol?
Yeah, the other thing that's interesting
and
about...
he's going to get revenge.
Yeah, the other thing that's interesting about New Belo is you got people who've dealt with the beware advantage, one in Austin, and with going the multiple steps through to find the actual idol and claim it. And the only two people left in the game who have that experience are there on New Belo, which is the only beach where the beware advantage hasn't been found.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with that, too.
All right. Well, Stacy's disappointed, but I still enjoyed the episode, even though Sean quit.
Right.
Well,
took a big dump on the whole thing.
Unofficially, he quit. But.
Yeah, he quit. Even Probst said it was another engineered quit. We've seen those before. BB was classic engineered quit in the first season.
I really thought he wanted to be there, though. I didn't understand that. It's like, what? Is he just... What? That's why I believe that, he's just trying to really play it up. So, and then I thought, no, he seems sincere.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think he was genuine. Yeah. So, goodness.
All right.
So, looking at new Lulu, they've definitely got the strength as long as Jake's able to still be there and be a part of it. Even if he goes out on a medical, they've still got Bruce and Kaleb, which are obviously powerhouses, and Katurah and Kellie are good too. And Kellie's a really good puzzle solver. I don't know if anyone else, we'll say Bruce and Kaleb are not good puzzle solvers based on things they've said before. So maybe Kellie and Katurah, or Kellie and Jake. Kellie was a constant in previous old Belo puzzle solving.
Jake was in one, wasn't he? Or I can't remember.
They worked together in the Marooning Challenge.
Okay.
And the big question mark for puzzling, for me, is on new Reba.
Well, okay. Well, I think we decided that Jay had done some.
Right.
And
Jay withdrew and Julie withdrew.
Yes, Julie. That maybe Jay and Julie would.
Drew was the constant in the wins that they had.
But it's kind of looking like they may not be doing puzzles at the end of everything for as long as they usually do.
It's possible they don't go back, but this could have been a one-off in that sense.
Yeah, but they had another one where of course, that was a reward.
Okay, look at it just from pure physical strength.
The throwing the rings.
New Reba now only has Sifu. It's Sifu and then D, Jay, and Julie. So from a physical strength perspective, they are the weakest.
New Reba is kind of the new Lulu.
And and maybe
or the old Lulu.
Maybe they puzzle solve, maybe they don't. It's not clear to me where Jay and Julie, what roles they played overall in the previous solves.
Yeah, but we'll see. You never know what they can pull off and what the challenge will be.
Well, I'm looking forward, obviously, to seeing how it plays out. But my goodness, let's not have any more quitters in this season.
Okay, we'll hope Sean's the last.
Well, Caleb's not going to quit, and I don't think Emily is either. They're just made of stronger stuff. I don't think Sabaya would have ever quit.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah, so I think we got rid of the weaklings.
But then I didn't think Sean would either, so...
Didn't see that coming, yeah.
No.
Well.
That one was a blindside to
Way to
us.
surprise us.
Okay, baby. We get it. We get it.
Sure.
Okay. JSFL.
Update.
3 people are tied in first with 21 points.
Week 4, and we're down to just a 3-way, huh?
Yep. 9 people lost their USB. 77 people lost a safe point. And 19 lucky, talented people earned a vote-off point.
Some special powers.
And side challengers with 19 points, Rebecca's in first. 18, Randy and Stacy. 17, Jeremiah, Justin, Lisa Ray, and Robert. And with 15 points, Drew and Parker.
All right. It's like a normal distribution there. Well done. Good deal. Well, we're excited to hear what you thought about this, and hopefully we can all get over the quitter. But we're looking forward to talking that out on Saturday. So we do our listener feedback on Saturdays, a voicemail line, 206-350-1547, toll free 844-643-8737. The email is joanneandstacyshow@gmail.com. You can use the voicemail, record your own, send it as an attachment to the email, or just write up a note and send it in. We look forward to hearing from you and seeing what you thought about how the tribes worked out, and who do you think is in the best position going forward? Are we going to see Reba just constantly at tribal council from here on? How do you think that's going to play out? Do they have a chance to win? It'll be interesting to see. We look forward to hearing from you. The feedback's due on noon Saturday.
At noon Pacific time.
Noon Pacific time, thanks. And we ask that you keep it in that 3-minute mark. And the sooner you get it in, the sooner we can get it ready. So we've had folks being able to get that in. It's probably been
very helpful. Yes.
Yeah, like 60% we're getting it in early so that we don't get a big avalanche right on Saturday. So we're looking forward to hearing from you about this and see what you think about the first tribe shuffle of the new era here.
All right. Have a good one.